How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a brand new podcast, the Loose Cannons podcast. Not sure why Jordan's covering his face. It's a familiar face. James in the building, familiar face. Familiar faces. It's a new podcast, people. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. We saw all the love. We saw all the, we need to get a podcast back. So here we are, fresh, just before the international break finishes. Well, I mean, it just finished last night, but we got Premier League action up this weekend, the game week 8. Lads, what are we saying? I mean, I missed the 8 a.m. starts. I'll tell you that much.
Liar. You're a liar. You hate the 8 a.m. starts. But I genuinely did miss the 8 a.m. starts. You know what I mean? So I'm glad we're kicking off with this brand new podcast. Very excited. Little bit gutted that a lot of my predictions, which were all correct, have been for nothing. But anyway, we move. But I'm gassed, and just want to mention all the love that I know you guys have received from so many of our community and followers about starting a brand new podcast. Has been seen, it's been read, it's been heard, it's been appreciated. So big up all the people that follow all three of our platforms. That wanted to see this brand new podcast start. So yeah, listen, I can't go through the messages because there's been so many, but big up everybody. So let's go.
Echo all that, but I've got to ask, Matt, who's responsible for that budget intro? What was that?
I was working against the clock. I'm responsible. So if people want to know, I'm also doing a bit of editing on the side now as well. So you know.
Snake.
I sent it in the group yesterday. I said, "What do you lot think?" James is like, "Oh, it looks good, mate. Seriously, I might ask class for Universe." And now he's coming to ask who does this.
He's a snake.
Yeah, me lying in bed doing absolutely nothing, going, "Yes, brilliant, really good, mate." Yeah, good night.
Turkish up till 4 a.m, like doing all the graphics and all the assets and logos.
He's learning Adobe. What's it called?
Premiere. I've had three hours sleep. I think 2 hours 45 minutes, but we're here. We're here to deliver for the people. And just a heads up, people, you see 3 people on the screen now. We are going to rotate guests week in, week out, show in, show out. So it's going to be a 4-person pod, but the 4th guest will be rotated throughout the season. So listen, I did ask my community on this channel here, Turkish LDN, to let me know about a year ago about potential guests you want to see for a new podcast. It's happened to turn out this way. So, you know, give those same names, give new names, give your own opinions in the comment section below. Let us know who you'd like to see on the podcast. And, you know, be as crazy and as wild as you want about it. You know, we're trying to hit every end of the Arsenal fan base in terms of guests throughout the season, whether positive, negative, neutral, wild, calm, etc., and whatever other labels you can put to a fan. We're looking to cover it all, so it'll be good to hear your opinions on who we should have on. You lot know us better than we know ourselves. So, you know, chemistry wise, let us know who you want to see on the pod, and week in, week out, show in, show out. We'll be back after the game this weekend, Sunday, another pod. We'll be back again after the Champions League next weekend and so on. Jordan, you're looking confused. You want to cut in. I expected it a bit sooner on the first pod, but 5 minutes in.
I'm being good. I'm being good. All I was going to say was just kind of repeating how excited I am. We've got some really big plans for this podcast, right? This is going to be something that you guys out there watching and listening hopefully are going to be really excited about as well. We've been cooking, and we've got some big things coming for the next, the foreseeable and the long-term future of this podcast. So yeah, without doing Turkish's job, subscribe, share, spread the word. Yeah, we're gonna make some noise in this Arsenal fan community. But I'm excited about what we can do now. So yeah, let's mark the day, 15th of October, 2025. That's right. Yeah, first day of it. Okay, my maths aren't great, and I'm not very good at remembering what day it is. Right, but just.
It's Monday, the 18th of April, 2027. Mark it. All right, everyone. It's a big day.
Remember the day.
All right, remember this. You know, we're big Chelsea fans, and we're finally here, ready to deliver a pod. Guy's not got a clue.
Jordan, repeat after me, please. I do solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
to watch every game before we do a podcast.
I ain't doing that.
Bro.
No. I'll get in trouble with the big man upstairs. I don't want to lie. Not a lie. My commitment to the bigger forces is more important than my commitment to the fan base. Let me tell you that now.
Let me
my best. I'll do my best.
Let me turn it around. People, Call Us Disabled. Jordan's YouTube channel is in the description below. If we get him to 1,000 subscribers before the next show, then he will guarantee he will watch every game.
I promise. Now we're talking. If you can go to my channel, my YouTube channel, Call Us Disabled, go there now.
Description. It's in the description.
Okay. Audio and YouTube. Get me to 1,000. I promise. Not only will I watch every minute of every Arsenal game this season, I'll watch reruns. I'll watch it twice. I'll go back and watch games from 1976 that season just to prove my commitment. Right?
Wow.
There we go. That's my promise.
We have lost the 1976 view on the podcast that we previously had. So yeah, we might need you to travel back in time a bit to get that perspective.
I'll do some digging.
But listen, people, show love. Call Us Disabled. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers in the description below. And Gooniverse News. You should already know what James is about. Second cutting in 7. I like this. Go on.
Second and final one. Second and final. I promise. Second and final.
Don't lie. It's okay.
Okay. I'm lying again now. Gosh, going back to my pod, I have on that one got some exciting news coming up as well. So subscribe to it. We got something really exciting coming and a collaboration I'm doing with someone quite big. Go and subscribe on Instagram. All of that. Anyway, back to Arsenal.
Nice. Even I'm intrigued. You ain't even told us what this is. You're telling the people.
I haven't.
Good luck. And we need to change that cut, mate. Seriously, man. The branding is all off.
Is it a bit too bait?
Channel 4 News.
These guys pay my bills, mate. Listen, if this pod doesn't work out, I've got to go back to these guys, right? So I've got to keep them on side. You know what I mean?
That's where we met. Emirates Channel 4 News.
It is.
We come full circle. The mug's in the building. Cool. But listen, we always tend to start with niceties, whether we're talking on a personal level, whether we're talking online on an Arsenal fan base level. But we've got a bit to catch up on and a bit to talk about. I know it's international break and it's been a bit muted in terms of news outside. We've got a bit of bad injury news. We've had a lot of good performances across the international break, but we haven't spoken properly in the public eye since before the Newcastle game, I believe. And I think the Newcastle game was a turning of the corner, you could call it. The lineup, the approach, following on Bilbao, was it Bilbao? No, Olympiacos, sorry, following on from that against West Ham with the Eze and Odegaard midfield, unfortunately broken up after 30 minutes with Odegaard coming off injured. But the approach was there. The football has been better in the last 3 competitive games for Arsenal. So what are we expecting moving forward? We've got Fulham away this week. We'll get into that side of things later on. But let's talk about what's just gone on. Jordan, how do you we all wanted to see something different against Newcastle, that big game following the Liverpool, Man City, performances. And we did, and we haven't looked back since.
No, we haven't, Turkish man. I think it's important that we give, and I think we're very good at this. The 3 of us are very good at this. But I think when the team needs to get a battering and they need to get called out and criticized, I think we do that very well. But I think we have to be fair as well. That Newcastle game was huge. And I think the fact that Mikel Arteta did change the lineup and change the approach, I thought deserves credit as well. That first 30 minutes, we were brilliant. We were absolutely brilliant. The football was really good. We should have scored a couple of goals. We can talk about Gabriel's his antics, which I think were quite embarrassing and disappointing. He didn't actually have a good game until he did, right at the end. But I thought Arsenal were brilliant in that game. And as much as I was critical about Arsenal at the game at Anfield, and I think my quotes were something along the lines of, that was the game where I genuinely had doubts for the first time about Arteta's ability to win Arsenal a title. I genuinely thought, maybe you're not the guy. I think that flipped with the Newcastle game, because I think what he did in that game made me think, oh, maybe you are the guy. Because I've said it on a previous podcast, and I'll say it again. My main reason for doubting Arsenal win the title, and I've still got the doubts, isn't personnel. It's not even tactics. It's pressure. I don't have the belief and the faith that this Arsenal team, when it really gets on top, when the pressures and the questions are really asked of them, I don't have the faith that they can come through that. And they've not shown me at any point over the last few years that when they have a chance to deal with the pressure and grab something, that they've not done it. So my biggest reason why I think we'll come second is because I just don't think we deal with pressure well. We can't handle pressure. This was a game, because that was the weekend, I believe, Liverpool dropped points.
They lost
Lost
Palace.
Right.
Yeah.
The pressure was on. The pressure was on, boys. We had to win that game. And you know me, I believe performances matter. You got to play well to win a Premier League title. That game, one of the few games this season where playing well just didn't matter. Just win the game. Deal with the pressure that Liverpool have said, we'll drop points. What are you saying? Are you not really about this? Are you not really about this thing? Can you capitalize? Because on 3 occasions last season, Liverpool opened the door, and on all 3 occasions, we either drew or we lost.
Yeah.
What are you guys? Are you guys really up for this? And to have the hardest game that weekend, Liverpool had Palace, not an easy game. Man City they won 5-0 Burnley. Was it Burnley?
Oh yeah.
They 5-1, I think. Yeah.
5-1. We had the hardest game, in my opinion, away to Newcastle. I know Palace were on form, but Newcastle away is one of our bogey teams. To go there and go a goal down and still have the mentality and the quality and the persistence, and the subs he made were very good as well. Let's not gloss over the subs. Yeah. He made good subs in that game. And to win it the way we won it, that made me think, okay, maybe we are about this. It's one game, and there's a long way to go still. But to deal with that pressure of answering the question that Liverpool were posing us and win it, I just thought, gave us a massive boost in our pack. But I think it also made Liverpool think, maybe these guys are about this. Like, maybe these guys are serious. Now, it's early. But I just thought we should give them credit for not only winning the game, but overcoming pressure. That was a big game, boys. They always beat us, Newcastle. They beat us 3 times last season. Yeah. And I think the irony, and I'll defer to James now, of this is that the game last year we lost to Newcastle, I think it was on my birthday, 2nd of November. That was a game where I said, we're not going to win the title. That was a game where I was like, nah. Oh, it's too early. How can you say that? I'm like, no. I know my team. We're not serious. We're not. I think we lost to Bournemouth the week before, or a bit earlier. That was a game where I felt we're not going to win the title.
I agree.
This time, it's the game where I'm genuinely thinking
we are.
I wouldn't say we are, but I'm a lot more confident now than I was 3-4 weeks ago. So, yeah, I've used up my time to chat about Newcastle, forget about West Ham. But I think that was a really important game in terms of making me believe the pressure actually might not be something that holds us back this season.
I think even so, before James goes in, I think even West Ham, bro, I think you should, they beat us the last 2 times at the Emirates, and that was also a different type of pressure to apply, because that pressure was, we play right before you got a big 6 game away. We're going to leapfrog you now. What are you going to do next? And I think we passed that with flying colours too. But James, sorry, in terms of that week before the international break.
Overcoming pressure is an interesting one, because I totally agree. I also wondered whether, and this is kind of my only negative take on the last few weeks for Arsenal, I kind of wonder whether Liverpool losing at Palace also made it a little bit of a free hit for Arsenal. A little bit of a like, well, if you lose, you're still only 5 points behind Liverpool, which is catchable. So I wondered whether they kind of saw it as go on.
I think that I was debating that weekend. I was debating myself, but madmen do that from time to time. But whether it was more difficult, a game against Newcastle if Liverpool lost, because then it's a chance for us to cut it. And like Jordan said last season, when we had those chances, it seemed like we didn't take the free hit approach, but afterwards, as fans, we was always like, listen, they dropped points too, so the gap hasn't extended. But this time it was job done.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know, ultimately. I think we can overanalyze these things. The reality is the players and the coaches probably don't actually care as much as we think, and actually just go, it's Newcastle away. Our prep's the same. The 11 we're going to go for is the same, and the intention's the same. Newcastle's intention's the same. There'll be an element of opportunity there that Arsenal have to overcome. So the pressure was there either way. Either don't fall too far behind or capitalize. So there was pressure, and I agree with Jordan. They overcame that. I just wondered, whether there was a slight mentality shift, but again, we'll never know. But I also think they overcame adversity, guys, in that game. You know, they have a penalty that we can debate whether it's a penalty or not because Pope touches the ball. And honestly, I can understand both sides. But where I certainly fall is the minute the ref's given it, it's not a clear and obvious error. So for me, that should be given. You then got Trossard hitting the post. You've got Eze having 2 strikes from outside the box, a great save from Pope. And Arsenal are probably thinking, how are we 1-0 down? Now, while I think Gabriel went down softly, the players on the pitch won't see the replay. So they're feeling like they've now had a goal given where their player's gone down. So they're thinking adversity. What have we got to do? We've played brilliant football. We've created all these chances. 2 refereeing decisions have gone against us where we're 1-0 down instead of 1-0 up. And they overcame that. And I've been doing this new series on the Canon podcast. Shout out to them. Rohan, Alex, George did a brilliant job. MJ in the background too. And we're doing rewatches once a week for a game. And we actually last night just rewatched the second half of that Newcastle game. And guys, Arsenal were like, I know not everyone always enjoys the tactical side of the game as much, but it was so fascinating the way Timber would go from right centre-back to basically right wing. Zumenidi would go from right centre-back to number 10. Declan Rice would be in front of the back 3 and obviously needed to be when he blocked off Murphy. Remember getting back to sort of cover. So he was shielding. But sometimes when you look at that first goal that Marino scores, it's Rice who makes an underlapping run from a Trossard pass, wins the corner. We score. The amount of fluidity in Arsenal's team. They had 6 players in the front line, all rotating. They brought Saka in field so that Eze could play more in the 10 rather than in the right 8, little things like that. And Arsenal just threw so many questions at Newcastle, and it forced them to have to bring off Anthony Gordon and go to a back 5 because he was just dragging into, he's being dragged into wing-back shifts. So anyway, you're right, we've done a lot of Newcastle. I think it was worth doing that. But it was really interesting, not just seeing Arsenal do it, but doing it in the face of pressure, adversity, and Arteta showing something tactically with Eze starting, but then also the changes to go more attacking and the football to come with it. He then follows it up with Olympiacos, where I've got to be honest, guys, this Marino, Zumenidi, Odegaard midfield, I like it. They are constantly rotating. They're constantly doing different things. And I don't think that's going to work in every Premier League game. I think you're going to need Eze's goal or Rice's steal and things like that. But there's definitely fluidity there I really like. And then against West Ham, he throws something completely different with Eze, Odegaard and Rice. And then when Odegaard went off injured, I think a few people were maybe complaining that Waneri didn't come on in his place. But I think he was right to bring on Zumenidi because while we were creating some chances, I don't think we ever had control of that first 30 minutes against West Ham. When we look at the stats from the first 30 to the next 30, it was a massive jump in everything. Possession, shots, take-ons, shots on target, everything just went up. Pass into the attacking third, everything went up the minute Zumenidi came on for the following half hour. He played a role in the goals. Was that?
And he played a role in the first goal, I remember for sure, yeah.
And both. The pass to Timber to win the penalty and that ball in behind to Eze, you're right. So I think what Arteta's shown, and Jordan's put it so brilliantly, is where City and Liverpool had me going, oh no, I'm sorry, I don't know if you're the guy, Mikel. It's now flipped so much in 2 weeks, but it's not just because he got one good result. It's the way he set up the team. It's the tactical flexibility. It's the overcoming adversity. It's the football we've played. And it's the ideas he's let us in on that he's got for this team. And that makes me really excited, guys. I think we could be in for a big season if this continues.
Yeah, I think the best part of that week, and it was a great week for Arsenal and, performances and approaches and all that. I think it was the lineup for the West Ham game, albeit, it was ripped apart because of injury in the first 25. But it's nice to see the thought process there. It's very much there. And, whether we do it week in, week out, whether sometimes we do revert back to a Rice, Zumenidi, Marino midfield, at least I know that it's in his thought process. We've seen it in action. We have played better in a creating chances sense. I think across that week, those 3 games, we created more chances than I think that first 45 against Newcastle was our best 45 minutes of the season, but it didn't go the way we wanted it to go on the score sheet. But we sorted that out second half. There was Champions League there, but that's game week 2, another clean sheet in between. But international break, Marino's got a couple goals for Spain again. Saka and Eze got a goal apiece in their fixtures. Saka scoring a banger. I think Eze's goal was nice as well. Who else?
Somebody else scored.
Marino's got another 2 goals, guys.
Yeah.
Like 2 headers last night. He's
Can we just chat about
unbelievable,
Marino for a second? Because this is my guy. This is my guy, right? Marino's going to prove. Yeah, he's going to prove to be the most important squad player in our squad this season. I think there'll be games where he doesn't really. He's getting to the point now whereby if he doesn't score a goal, he's deemed to not have a good game. And I kind of compare him a little bit. His trajectory is a little bit similar to the one of McTominay for club and for country. I don't know if you've tracked his trajectory of the last 2 seasons, McTominay for United/Napoli, but Scotland. The guy can't stop scoring goals. He can't stop scoring goals, and he's not the same profile exactly as Marino, though not massively different. But Marino, similarly, for club and for country, is getting lots, but also some important goals. I love Marino. I think he's going to prove to be a guy that's going to score some big goals for us. He's done it already. Some really big goals for us this season. And for what he's doing for Spain, if I was Spanish, I'd be excited about what he might do next year's World Cup as well, because I think he's a very, very good player. He's just not flashy. He's not clean. He's not silky. He's a little bit I think cumbersome's the wrong word, but I just think he doesn't have an out and out obvious, oh, that's what he's great. He's not massively fast. He's not a brilliant striker of the ball, although I think he hits the ball quite well. I think he's got a taste for timing. He's an aerial presence in the box, and I think that's something that some people may laugh at, but actually in certain games, in certain moments, you need a guy that knows to make those runs and get those big headers and be a presence and a nuisance in the opposition. But I love Marino. There's somebody else that scored as well. So Trossard scored. Somebody else for us scored this international break.
Trossard didn't score. Martinelli.
Martinelli scored, yeah, from a striker's position.
No, Trossard scored against Wales, didn't he?
Who?
Did he?
I thought he got a goal against Wales.
Maybe. I mean, I checked it.
I could be wrong. I didn't
watch the Belgium games. I just checked who played and what they did.
Wait, who are we talking about scoring against Wales?
Trossard.
I thought he did. I got that wrong.
I'll have a quick look.
Could be wrong. Check and correct me. But he didn't score.
That beautiful goal against Wales. Cuts in top corner. Eze got a goal.
Trossard did.
He did, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think he got a goal and an assist as well. But do you know who didn't score this international break?
I mean, I've got it written down here as well. Gyökeres and Isak and Sweden in general have had an absolute stinker this international break.
Western Super. They've had a Western Super, mate. I'm telling you, it's so bad over there. It's so bad.
Who did they lose to? Kosovo
and 1-0.
Switzerland, both at home. Both at home for Sweden.
Gyökeres, Isak, and Elanga. And who's the other one who've got? Spurs boy.
Bergvall.
Yeah.
No, the other one. Kulusevski?
Yeah, but he's not fit.
He's not. He's injured.
But they got Yari, who I think plays for Brighton.
They got enough.
Sweden ain't going to America. They're not going to make it to the World Cup.
Well,
that talent pool.
I believe is stinker not quite hooked because Nations League. I believe they're taking the 4 best placed teams in the Nations League, where Gyökeres banged 9 goals and Sweden done quite well, that don't finish in the top 2 in these groups will go into the playoffs for the World Cup, if that makes sense.
Wow.
Okay.
So I believe that, even though this is not going well for Sweden, I think what they did in the Nations League, what Gyökeres helped them do with all them goals, I believe that comes back into play because they will be one of the best 4 teams. So
that gives them an out for sure. But even their campaign for the last Euros, they didn't qualify. Like they've been bad for a while. And look, Sweden's not our interest, but Gyökeres is. And so I guess he gets a slight pass by the fact that no one for Sweden is playing well on the face of it.
Yeah.
But come on, bro. I'm seeing stats like he got like 2 touches in the box. And I'm like, when you start doing them kind of touches in the box stats and shots on goal stats, as a striker, you're struggling. So look, I'm not on the guy's back just yet. I'm just flagging that I don't think he started his Arsenal career particularly well. I thought he was decent against West Ham in terms of his movement.
Newcastle as well, though. Across those 3 games, in my opinion, he had his best games, but he didn't score.
Do you know my thing, Turkish? Can you win a header? Can you just win? He doesn't win any headers.
We went from last year. I'm flipping about our striker winning headers on the touchline.
I know. The irony.
This year, Jordan wants our striker you can't please us, people. You can't.
I'm not even judging man on goals yet. But I watched him was it the West Ham or the Newcastle? It was a West Ham game. I think he lost every header or every aerial duel. I'm like, brother,
West Ham was the worst game.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I'm like.
But I thought there was an upward trajectory before Jordan. Sorry to cut you, but
yeah,
I thought City to it came on against Port Vale, but then Newcastle, Olympiacos. I thought he was getting better and better. I was thinking the goal's not there, but you've arguably done more for the team than you have done with the runs he makes, the defenders he occupies. And look, I know we got on to people who said, Kai Havertz's movement and what he did. We were kind of going, yeah, give me something on the ball. Cool.
No, but Turkish. No, James. It was Turkish. Not some people. Turkish.
I invade space on our first episode. I can invade different spaces again. I can bring that back.
Also, my friend, we're on his channel. I mean, I'm taking his takes a little bit better this season. I'm sort of going, okay, fair enough. Yeah, see where you're coming from, Turkish. No, look, the difference for me with Gyökeres and Kai. And by the way, I thought Kai started the season very well. When as in pre-season, was looking good. It looked good against Man United, and I think against at the end of 23-24, that second half of the campaign. I don't think Gyökeres has got to the form that Kai was in that second half of the season. So, that's a level to get to first. For Arsenal, I mean. I think with Kai Havertz, I don't think he occupies defenders in the way Gyökeres does. And look, it could just be selective viewing. Like I could just be choosing to see that, if that makes sense. But I feel like with Gyökeres, because of his pace and power and constant willingness to run in behind, there's this he just is keeping defenders constantly busy. And I don't think it's a surprise that players in and around him have had a little bit more time. There's been more little 1-2s outside the box. There's been little combos. There's been spaces to exploit. Now, Kai, I think, to be fair, I think tactically is a very intelligent footballer. And I know we joke, but his movement does other things. I remember him pulling Konate and Van Dijk apart at the Emirates in a 3-1 win by simply picking up pockets that they couldn't pick him up in. And he didn't outmuscle them. He didn't bully them. He was just more intelligent than them. So Kai can do other things. But I do think Gyökeres right now is constantly in the wars, constantly. But I do actually think that's having a benefit for this team. And, he has missed one or two moments that I've thought, that was your chance for a goal. But I think that will come. And look, if we're top of the league, Gyökeres is playing quite well and he's not scoring yet. I'm feeling quite good about our position, if I'm honest.
I hope so.
It's a shame because I think Olympiacos, part of my memory, people, it might be skewed a bit, but Odegaard cameo off the bench against Newcastle. He turned it up. He played a part. I remember a pass in behind, a couple of passes in behind. But then he starts against Olympiacos, Odegaard, right?
Yeah.
And that's where I think Odegaard played the most through balls I've seen him play maybe in the past 18 months in one game. He was playing through balls from his own half. And a lot of that, because off the back of that game, you're right, a lot of the Kai Havertz can't wait till he's back kind of propaganda started. But you don't get that space in midfield if Gyökeres is not pulling the defenders that way in terms of back towards their own goal. Whereas Havertz is good at pulling defenders maybe left and right. Sometimes that can also aid to the double up maybe Saka's getting or whoever's, was getting doubled up before. With Gyökeres, it's different movements. So I think both strikers or both players will garner different sorts of chances. But what I liked in that game was Odegaard through balls. There was even a couple he should have played. Gyökeres, there was that run on X. You see, Gyökeres is making the run that way, and then he changes it up to go that way. And Odegaard actually never passes to him, passes to Trossard. But I'm seeing good things. I think Newcastle and Olympiacos, if I'm judging Gyökeres as an all-round player, I'm saying, okay, I've seen enough, but he has to score. 3-7 in the league is on the cusp of looking poor. 3-8, poor. 4-8, 5-8. If he gets 1 or 2 against Fulham, you're looking at okay. Because there's a striker that costs double his price that is being excused because he didn't quite have the preseason he was meant to have, nor did Gyökeres. He didn't train with Sporting Lisbon for a little while. He had to come Singapore, Hong Kong last minute. You know, he didn't have to. But with the Havertz injury, he had to just go. And not only that, we had to find our style. You know, he had to come in, adjust, while Arteta had to adjust for him. And I think we only saw that adjustment in full flow against Newcastle, Olympiacos. And West Ham was a poor game for him. But I still like that even after the Sweden game, he came out and essentially flipped about the team, saying these men don't want to win. And I like that because you played a part in it as well. Like he wasn't, blaming everyone, but I like that there's some responsibility there. You're one of the star players. You've come out and you said this ain't acceptable. I like that mentality. So I banked on him to score against West Ham. I'm banking on him to score against Fulham. I need him to score against Fulham this weekend. But there's no news about Havertz's injury and return date yet either. So that's still looking like late December maybe until he's fully fit again. So we've got
that has gone a bit quiet. You're right. I mean, I just want a few less hair flicks and a few more flick-ons. Like for someone as big as he is, I would just like him to link the play a little bit.
Is that why you cut your hair off? Less hair flicks.
I can't even flick my hair now, do my thing. You know what I mean? I just watched that West Ham game and I just thought to myself, he hasn't won any aerial. Like I say, I'm being kind. I'm not even judging him by goals. I'm just saying, okay, can you at least link the play a bit better? But I'm not onto him yet. You know my views on him generally, but I'm giving the guy a chance. I need a little bit more from him. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
There's someone we should definitely give some flowers to. You just mentioned a second ago, Turkish, and that's Odegaard. That game against Olympiacos, that was Odegaard 3 years ago. Like there's a couple of compilations I've seen. I watched the whole game, but I've seen some compilations on him in particular as well. And there's probably about 5 or 6 examples of him putting people through. It was the passes and the range, and it was Odegaard at his best. And I think that he has actually been quite good this season, despite coming off, I think, 3 times now, quite early in games. I just think, we've battered him for 2 years or 18 months. Definitely. I just thought he's shown in patches this season the old school Odegaard. And that one game, I just thought it was crazy how good he was. Crazy. And it's Olympiacos, whatever, but it's a Champions League game.
Yeah, and against Newcastle, mate. That cameo was sensational.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. When he came on, yeah. You're totally right, James. Yeah. He changed the game, arguably. He changed when he came on. We went up a level.
Even against West Ham, I was shocked that the reviews of it, because a lot of people didn't see the first half or the changes made in midfield as anything. Whereas I saw that first 30 minutes against West Ham and I saw us creating chance after chance, keeper making saves, we're getting balls into the box and forcing defenders and, like I said, keeper into that. I did see something good from it all. I'm not too sure why people were quite dismissive of it initially. Maybe on reflection now, 2 weeks later, we look at it a bit more kindly. But against West Ham, I think, that approach yielded better chances, and that's exactly what I expected. So overall, yeah.
That's interesting because I was just saying earlier that Zumenidi coming on gave us a better balance, but there's no reflection on Odegaard's performance. I thought he was looking good in that first 30 minutes. Obviously got the injury and tried to play on for a good 5-10 minutes after that. For me, that first 30 when it was Odegaard as a Rice just lacked control. It wasn't that we weren't creating chances or doing things. It just felt messier, which, by the way, I've called for more of in this Arsenal team, so I've got no problem with that. And I think when you're at home against West Ham, the form they're in, we can actually afford a little bit of that. But it felt like while we had an attack, West Ham would then have a moment where we just had to see it out and defend, and then they might get a corner, and then we'd have another attack. The minute Zumenidi came on, we had sustained pressure. I also felt that with Odegaard dropping next to Rice, because obviously Eze's the more natural 10 of the 3, it felt like maybe Eze, Calafiora and Trossard were kind of all in each other's space a little bit. So I'm really interested in seeing that 3 more. I would just like to just see it tweaked one further. So, for example, could it be Odegaard left 8 with Rice and then Eze steps? Because Eze in that right 8 really surprised me, guys. That underlap he makes for the Zumenidi pass in the first goal is brilliant. And then, like I said, I rewatched that Newcastle second half. he was quality. I didn't realize how good he was. I think I gave him an 8 out of 10 on the Goonverse. He might have been a 9 or a 10. I mean, he was sensational what he was doing in tight spaces, carrying the ball, and the little moments he was creating from his bravery in possession. Do you remember that Timber header that saved by Pope against Newcastle? That like point blank, when Zumenidi curls with the outside of his boot.
Oh, yeah.
So that comes from Saka I think Saka gives the ball to Eze, but Eze shows quick feet. That Cazorla flicking it from one boot to the other to get around defender, and then just knocking it into Zubimendi into Trossard, who gives it to Zubimendi before the outside of the ball pass. It's our magicians on the outside of the box playing really quick 1-2 football, and I love that. And I think then you add Odegaard to that. And this is why I think Arsenal can start to be creative from those central spaces, which they haven't done for years.
Let's not just go past that dink from Zubimendi. That dink from Zubimendi, that shit should be on Pornhub. That was crazy. Crazy. When I saw that, I was like, oh! Like I went, oh! I was like, no.
Calm down with the description, Jordan. We're all right. Save that for membership.
There's a lot of men, not me, that get off on that sort of excitement, that sort of excellence, that sort of sexiness. That dink was just mad. That was like that's what I pay my money to see. That was
the new podcast has lasted one show.
Sorry, yeah.
Griselda needs to bring out a season 2 at this rate, bro. He's getting a bit too excited by the matches. We've gone too far the other way.
Listen, I'm just saying that was yo.
It was exquisite. His passing range is showing in the last few weeks.
Mad.
Some of the things he's been doing, I've really neat.
He was up for Player of the Month September as well. I mean, that kind of shocked me. But what did you?
I didn't know that. I thought it was like for Goal of the Month. I saw Goal of the Month. I didn't know it was for Player of the Month.
Yeah, I think it was Goal of the Month. But maybe
was it Goal of the Month?
Yeah, maybe it was Player. That strike against Forest was unreal. So yeah, you know what, guys? He's for want of a better analogy. When you've got something cooking on the stove and you've just turned the heat up a little bit. You're just like, we need to reduce this down. We need to get to the flavor. And I think Zubimendi is just he's coming to a boil. And I think his time at Arsenal so far has been a 7 out of 10. I've been impressed. I've not been blown away. And when I look at what he's been doing for Spain, a little part of me has been going, why have we not quite seen that? And I look, he's playing with Pedri and some other great midfielders, but he's playing with great midfielders at Arsenal now. And
he's the chef.
And I think he's starting to, because that ball into Eze is genius, but you need the Eze run. You need that run to play it. And Arsenal against West Ham, what they were doing was killing them with underlaps, whether it was Timber, whether it was Rice, whether it was Eze, whether it was Odegaard. Marina then came on and did it. Calafiori was doing it. By the way, Calafiori's been given the keys to the team. He's just been told you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And you need those runs to be made. And Arsenal have so much more purpose in their movement, and that's unlocking their better passes. So, yeah, Zubimendi is starting to understand his teammates. You've got to remember, Zubimendi and Eze, we didn't have them last year. They weren't part of our team. And they're combining like this. It's good to see.
He was in the Player of the Month nominations. I've checked in the back. Haaland won it, of course. But yeah, that surprised me that he was up there. Goal of the Month didn't surprise me. That was a banger.
Can I just, before we move on, for 2 things. One, I think Calafiori mentioned there, James, been our best player this season so far. I think Zubimendi's had 3 or 4 games where he's just been an absolute Michelin star chef, just cooking stuff up. Timber's been brilliant.
One of them.
Timber's been brilliant, but I think Calafiori just shades him. I think Calafiori's highs have been slightly higher than Timber's highs. But Timber probably second for sure. And just on that point, 3 goals conceded, guys. 3 goals conceded, and 2 of them are Liverpool and Man City. My target at home is 10 goals, right? So my target is 10 goals. No more than 10 goals conceded at the Emirates this season. And I want 18 out of the 19 games won at the Emirates this season. I know we've dropped points to City already. I want every game won at the Emirates. This is what I'm setting myself the target. Every game at home now, I expect us to win. And 10 goals conceded. That's my target. This start of the season was 10 goals. And if we can do those 2 things, we walk the league. Things happen. And I'm being realistic. I know things happen, but those are my targets. And I think right now to concede 3 goals, That is mad. That is absolutely crazy. And long may it continue.
A wise man once said, "Give me clean sheets."
Telling you, I
But
need
that same wise man also said, "I wouldn't take 38 1-0 wins." So I don't know. I don't know how wise that wise man is, but
that wise man stands by that statement, by the way, as well. You know what I mean?
That wise man also missed an Arsenal game for an intimate night with his girlfriend in front of Netflix. So I don't know what to say about this wise man.
I would argue of the two, I made the right choice.
Well, only you know. Only you
and the
know.
Comments will agree as well. The comments will agree too.
That was the 23-24 season when we were in our pomp. We won 16, drew 1, lost 1. We were flying, I think. It's not like last season. Last season, I'd have understood.
That's how buff my girl was, James. It was a high bar, but trust me, it was a good night. But anyway, clean sheets, they get me just excited as Zuba dinks. All the Zuba dinks, but give me clean sheets.
Hey, calm down. You can't say clean sheets and Zuba dinks, bro. You can't say that. How can you?
I'm just saying it. If anything, clean sheets are more important.
I don't know. This pod was a good idea, bro. Can we start another channel for this? Because my CPM and monetization might be finished.
All right. Let me just hold it down.
Nah, I'm joking. Don't worry, bro. I've had Steve and people like that on this channel, mate. I think I'm all right. I think I'm all right.
Clean sheets and super dinks is
yeah, man. I'm a happy
Welcome
man.
to episode 1. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribed. Individual channel links. If you want to hear more of that stuff, call us disabled. Big things are coming.
Go subscribe now.
On the international break.
Sideways.
You didn't point out.
Sorry.
Go subscribe somewhere.
Somewhere there. You'll get used to it, Jordan. Don't worry. We're going back to the 4 people soon. Don't worry, man. Yeah. I know it's a bit of a weird one. Calafiori, 180 minutes. Centre back for for Italy. Sorry. Norgard 90. That's good, I guess, for him. Gabriel got 90, but he didn't play a part in the second game. Saliba started both for France. Timber started both for the Netherlands. So all in, I think it's only really Raya. Nwaneri started for England under 21s. I think Dalman started for England under 19. I think they both had goal contributions too. I say all that to move on to the action this weekend. Fulham away. How we're looking at it. They've won 2, lost. They've won 2, drawn 2, lost 3 this season. They've lost their last 2 games, both being away from home, 3-1, Bournemouth, Aston Villa. But they haven't lost at Craven Cottage this season. They've won 2 and drawn 1, that one draw against Man United on game week 2. So a mixed bag when we're looking at Fulham. They had injuries to Jimenez and Muniz prior to international break, but a lot can happen in the 2 weeks. I don't know who's fit, who's ready. None of the press conferences are out. People, apologies. We're trying to get this to you prim and proper rather than listen to the pressers come Friday. It's a bit late then. But what are we all expecting here? Tough game, going rigid, or do you want to see what we've spoken about, opening up against Newcastle, opening up against West Ham? Do you want to see more of that against this Fulham side?
Well, if I can just jump in quick, it's a great question you asked. Do we want to be as open as we were in terms of our intent against Newcastle and in terms of our 11 against West Ham? And some of the football against Olympiacos was sensational. But I think, do you know the beauty of Zubimendi is I think he allows you to kind of do both. Now, I'm not saying that past DMs didn't allow you to do that at the club, but I just mean like if you've got Rice, Zubimendi, Eze, some can look at that and go, oh, 2 DMs. But we were just talking about that pass from Zubimendi and how he essentially created the 2 goals against West Ham. You're hardly lacking creativity in that, are you? And the way he floats around the midfield, I mean, it will at times be Rice sitting with Zubimendi higher with an Eze as well. So I think it's about intent more so than the players on the pitch. Now, if he's to go Marino, Zubimendi, Rice, he falls flat. And it's not because Marino's proven he's not a DM. So this whole 3 DMs needs to stop. He's not that. But we're talking about having Gall and Flair in the final third in terms of quality that can complement Zubimendi and Rice. And someone who wants to receive that ball in the half space and show a little something that isn't just releasing it first time or being on the end of moves. So if you want to go Marino because of his goal scoring prowess, and I do think Arteta might be forced to find a way to get him into this team, then it's got to be with an Eze or a Rice or a Zubimendi and an Eze or a Waneri and a Zubimendi. It can't be, just, well, Odegaard's out, he's scoring loads of goals, which means he's attacking, so chuck him in. The balance won't be there. So for me, I would go, we got Atletico midweek, haven't we?
Yeah.
I would be okay. Rice has played a lot more football again for England. I'd be okay with going Marino, Zubimendi, Eze for this game. I'd be all right with that. I think they complement each other nicely. And, we have been rotating. I'm cool with that. But people might say not having Rice for an away game in the league is a bit silly. And I'd understand that because there's other opportunities to rest Declan.
I was going to say something similar in one of them doesn't start. I was leaning towards Zubimendi because he was meant to get a bigger rest than he did against Ham, but came on a bit early. But then I remember Rice coming off with a back injury, or the little conversation with Trossard. Arteta said it's not looking good, but he started for England, so that's behind him. But do you want to test the waters there? Maybe not. So I actually lean towards maybe Zubimendi starting the game and giving Rice that extra break, considering off the back of that little injury, niggle, whatever it was, he's played quite a bit of football for England too. So I guess we're starting with midfield.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I mean, defensively, I think we're happy with whatever we see. Even though Calafiori another 180 minutes, I'd start Lewis Skelly. I like that too, because giving Lewis Skelly another 90 minutes, by the way, I think 191 sub appearance, because it's keeping him, semi-fresh. So I think this is a game that maybe we should start Lewis Skelly, more so to protect Calafiori a bit as well. He's already played probably his most football in an Arsenal shirt consistently, across one patch of, I can't remember a patch he's had being this consistent with this many minutes. So, but sorry, Jordan, I'm veering off before listening to your thoughts on the midfield.
No, it's all good. I'm a little bit hesitant. I'm a little bit reluctant to kind of prioritize rest and rotation on this game, only because we're top of the league, and I would like us to assert ourselves as the league leaders for a while. Even I don't think Liverpool dropped points at Anfield on Sunday. I think they beat United. I think they might beat them quite well. I know a lot of people are kind of this narrative of United need to win this game and they might get. Liverpool aren't playing great. I think they beat United quite comfortably, right? But would I be stunned if that was a draw? No. I would like us to, having earned the right, having come through 6-7 difficult games, I would like us to try and, over this next 6-7 games, try and form a little bit of a gap. And I understand why you guys are thinking about rest and rotation. It's a long season, and we've messed up on this before. I'm just not sure this is the game to have that as a priority. I think the priority is, even though Declan Rice has played 2 90-minute matches, I think he came off late on against Latvia, but he's played a lot of minutes for England. I wouldn't necessarily not play him because of that. I would not. If you're not going to play him, don't play him because you think the combination of the three you want to play is suited to beating Fulham, rather than let's give Rice, let's kind of preserve him. So I'm a little bit nervous about resting players for this game, because I would like us to imagine if Liverpool win and we draw, then we're second again, and it's like, okay, we've worked so hard to get first, and now we've given up because we're thinking about the bigger picture. There'll be times this season where I think we do have to prioritize rest and rotation and think of bigger pictures. I get that. I'm just not sure this is that. I would go with Zubimendi, Eza, and Declan Rice. That would be my three combination. Because I think then you get the physicality of Declan Rice. Fulham aren't a massively physical team. They've got some good players in the midfield, but I think you just assert yourself early. You've got the creativity of Eza and Zubimendi, but you got the guy that can beat players as well in Eza, win free kicks. That would be my three. A left back, again, it's harsh on Lewis Skelly. I would stick with Calafiori. I would stick with Calafiori on this one, and that's coming from a guy that said last season, I never want to see him at left back ever again. I don't, and even now, I'm still not. I've said earlier on he's been our best player this season, but I'm still not fully convinced he's the left back answer. I do have some concerns that down the line, his not being a left back could harm us. But look, for now it's working, so cool. Let's run with it. But yeah, I guess my overall point is, I wouldn't look too much at rotating and resting, because I just want to stay top of the league. And I think if you win the game, even with a 70% or 70% fresh Declan Rice, I would take that gamble, because I think it's a game we need to win. If you want to win the title, games like Fulham are games you have to get 6 points. You have to beat them home and away. And if I'm not mistaken, last year we drew twice with Fulham. They're the points that, for me, cost us the title. It's the Fulham and the West Ham games and the Everton at home. They're the games that lose you leagues. You got to win. You got to win those games. Those middle of the table teams, you got to beat them home and away. So this, for me, is a big game where play your best team, beat them, and then hopefully in a position whereby you can take off Rice after 75 minutes.
I'm trying to see second again. Hopefully, I know it's still early days, but that's the aim. Sorry, go on, James.
No, I just had a thought. It's about players that complement each other, because we've got a great squad. So, for example, if Lewis Skelly's going to play, then I think you want Martinelli hugging the touchline. I know even he's better more on the inside, but he's kind of the most natural touchline winger we got. If you're going to play Calafiori, then that left winger's got a little bit more license to move on the inside. He won't do this. And that's okay, because I think there's other combinations you can go with that work. But I'd actually love to see Calafiori left back, Zumenidi and Rice, with Waneri taking Odegaard's spot, and then Eze on the left, and then having that kind of dual impact of Eze and Waneri together. I'd like to see. I don't think he'll do that, because I think he's shown that he hasn't quite wanted to go with Waneri away from home and things like that. But other games, like, to be fair, Burnley and Sunderland are away. I think he might get those minutes, Waneri. And then Eze on the left, because he'll still be drifting inside doing what he does. But I think what's more likely is he'll do what Jordan's saying, which is ultimately go, listen, the team's got momentum. Calafiori, keep your place. Rice, keep your place. Trossard will probably start on the left because he's been starting games. Eze will start in the 10. So I think he'll stick with that. But then there is opportunity in this run. Palace at home will be tricky, but is there a position in there you can rotate? Brighton and the Carabao Cup, of course, will mix it up. And then Burnley, Slavia Prague and Sunderland all away. Waneri should be getting some minutes in that. Marino should be starting some of those games. He won't start Dowman, so Saka will have that spot. But, could Saka just be pulled out for one of those so Waneri could start on the right and then you do something different? Let's see. And Ben White needs to get some football, by the way. I'm still a huge Ben White fan. And this has been a little bit of a debate on the timeline recently. Timber has been in sensational form, but I still think the 2 years we got of Ben White, 22, 23 and 23, 24, are as good as anything we've seen from Timber now. They're different. Ben White's a little bit more of a final third impact player. Timber's better defensively. But if Ben White can get to his best, and Lewis Skelly, they are as good as anything we've seen from Timber and Calafiori. And what an amazing position to be in. So I hope they can get up to speed and get some crucial minutes.
Yeah, I agree with Ben White. I need him back sharp, man. It's been sad and frustrating, watching his journey back, because it hasn't quite landed yet. But Timber's done an amazing job. Listen, he's played like about 60 games now since coming back from that ACL. So we do need to, keep that in mind. Lewis Skelly, Tuchel's already mentioned losing his England spot. We don't want that to be happening. So get him some minutes too before the last international break of the calendar year, which will decide all the. Actually, fuck it, Jordan, you didn't mention 3 weeks ago, you mentioned Spain beating Turkey 6-0. How come you're not mentioning the Turkey results this international break?
Oh, did you beat them?
No, we didn't beat Spain, but we scored 10 goals across 2 games. We're officially second.
Well done. Yeah, well done. Great. Well done. Yeah, brilliant.
Jamaica as well actually won their game, so it looks good for them too. Italy won their game. Italy are also sorted in that group.
How far from qualification are you, James?
Hold on. Are we sorted? Because we're second to Norway.
Second, but yeah. You're going to be playoffs. We might even meet each other in the playoffs.
Ooh.
Italy could miss a fourth. Wait, is it fourth? So they missed.
No, it'd be
No,
three.
so they missed
Three.
14, 18, and 22. So
Oh, yeah, 4.
No, sorry. Hold on. No, they did miss 14. They were in that with England. So they missed 18, 22. They could miss a third World Cup in a row.
Yeah.
And we didn't make out the groups in 14 or 2010. So the last time Italy won a knockout game of World Cup football was the year they won it in 2006, which is mental.
That's bad.
It's in trouble, man. Like, we'll rock up and win the odd Euros every now and again. But, I mean, can we make it to the World Cup, please?
It's funny to James, because you say that, and that is embarrassing for what is meant to be a top tier footballing nation. But England would swap that with you all day long. Your record, England would swap it. They would. They would.
I mean, yeah, I hear that for sure.
It's embarrassing, but they would.
But yeah, sorry, people. My mind just went elsewhere. When Spain are smoking us 6-0, Jordan wants to pipe up. We're smoking team 6-1 and 4-1, and Jordan just quiet there. But yeah, I'll just get that in there while I can. Why not?
I don't want no trouble.
It's my channel. I'll do what I want around here, people. International break segment on the new podcast. What do you think about that? We're gonna review Turkey every single week. Make sure you're subscribed.
No wonder you went for the red and white. It's nothing to do with Arsenal.
Listen, it covers both grounds. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we've kind of went through the lineup, I believe. So let's kind of move on.
Just finally, again, I'm repeating myself now, but in all seriousness, it would be really, really upsetting for Arsenal to have done the hard work they've done to get themselves top after 7 games, and then a silly draw at Fulham, Liverpool smoke United, and then it's like, oh, after all that, we've been really good. Liverpool have been a bit unconvincing, and you're still not topped. It's a really big game, I think, for Arsenal in the sense.
But let's not lose our heads, Jordan, though, because
no.
You know, let's say we draw there, can happen. Good side Fulham, and then you go win your next 3. Your record stands at something like 8 wins, 2 draws, and a defeat. Do Liverpool win all 4? By the way, they might not. But like, it's a long season, and 10 points out of 12 for me would be a level, but that's below par. We're capable of all 12. But also, I think this is where, as a fan base, because I think the players are starting to do this, I think it's a long season. And, it'll be disappointing, and we'll break down the micro of what went wrong if we don't win that game. But at the same time, yeah, there's a lot of football to be played, and Liverpool don't look 100. City don't look 100. And I think it's keeping composure through, because a lot of things are going to happen, and we're betting in a lot of players. That said, if we don't beat Fulham, we'll be really disappointing. Of course it will be. I'll be furious for whatever reason it doesn't happen. But I think we're sometimes we're on this edge of like every bad result is like catastrophe, and I think this season doesn't feel like previous seasons where every drop point felt like, oh, that's a disaster, because City aren't dropping those points, Liverpool aren't dropping those points. I think this year might be a little bit different, and so always maintaining that in our thinking is important.
Sure.
Yeah, but listen, a win, and then somehow Man United do something, and yeah, even though it's game week 8, you're looking healthy going into those patch of home games across multiple competitions. It's a beautiful place to be in. Let's keep it moving, people. Predictions. There ain't no table. There is no rules right now. We're looking to bring it back.
Absolutely,
bring it back in a different way.
It's disgusting. No. We're not going to just go past that. I was pulling away clear, and for what it's worth, I would have predicted West Ham a 2-0 win. What happened? I would have.
You could have told us. What stopped you from WhatsApping us then?
Yeah,
you see.
I had Olympiacos 2-0 win. I had Olympiacos 2-0. I had West Ham 2-0. I predicted a couple goals from Marino.
And just so people know, this is a brand new podcast, so I ain't got 2 stars. James ain't got 2 stars, but he's moaning because he was like 4 points in front with no stars. Like, you might as well just take the deal, brother. You're back on level playing ground. Just take it, run, and be happy.
That's a good point.
Walking disgrace.
But let's do predictions. Cool. Let's start here. I don't know how we're gonna move forward with it. On the big 6, I have brought in Chips. I have spoken to James a little about it. We'll speak to Jordan. We'll decide how we change it up moving forward. But let's make our predictions just to get them in. People know Fulham away. I'm gonna go alphabetical order. That's the only way I know how. James,
I do fancy a new game, not a new game, but like something added to it. So let us know in the comment section below. But also, there's got to be something for like, I think we should, obviously we're having guests on the pod, so there should be like a guest section.
Yeah.
And anyone who finishes lower than the guests, I mean, forfeit, shambles. Like something's got to be done. You can't be finishing lower than people who are rocking up once every 6 months to talk to us. So I think something like that.
Jordan
if you lose
can. I wouldn't say you can't. Jordan can.
I ain't that bad.
Well, I mean, 0 stars.
Well, technically, we're all on 0 stars now, isn't it? We're all on 0.
No European heritage, Jordan. No European heritage.
No.
It's a new world. We've gone from First Division to Premier League. Pre-1993, there's no football. Doesn't matter. Doesn't count. There's Champions League.
Yeah, but as Arsenal fans, we need to flex those First Division titles, mate.
Yeah, we got 10 of those, mate. We need that.
We've got. Yeah, exactly. We got.
You got no heritage. You got no history. Get out of here. There was no football podcasting before the 15th of October, 2025. All right.
He checked.
There was no football before Wednesday the 15th. Oh god! Right, who's going first then? Am I going first?
Yeah.
Well, apparently.
All right.
Why not? I don't care who goes first. Let Jordan go first so we don't hear it.
No.
Yeah, you're right.
EGMOL of YouTube will be hearing about this for weeks if we don't let him go
True.
first. Go on, Jordan, man.
All right.
Do your thing.
It's only right. 2-0 Arsenal.
2-0. James?
I'm torn between 2-1 and 1-0. I want to go 2-1. I just think we might look a little bit rusty in the game, dare I say. But I'll go 2-1 Arsenal.
2-0, 2-1. I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go 3-0.
Yeah,
I mean, 2-0 was my prediction, but Jordan's taking it. So I'm going to add the goal and say Gyökeres gets 2 on top of that as well. But yeah.
Be nice. That'd be great.
3 points, people. We've all predicted 3 points. What do you predict? Let us know in the comment section below. And like James said, any ideas, any tips on how we change up maybe the prediction league, what chips we may be able to use, and not exactly taking what the big six are doing. It doesn't really work in this format. But any opinions are appreciated, people. And what's more appreciated? Subscribe, like, hype, share. Do all of that stuff, people. Individual channels are in the description below. And yeah. Let's move on to comments of the day.
Ooh.
Wrong pod. Sorry, I forgot. brand new podcast. Can change his face. We'll wrap it up there then. Leave your comments and maybe we do comments of the day next week. I don't know. We'll see. Have I missed anything, Jordan, James? Anything we want to wrap up with?
I'll tell you what we can do. We can definitely we could definitely do like a new pod, new take on this. I do think like a Q&A section could be quite good. Like a just I don't know, something that people kind of want our opinions on. I know that's not particularly original. I know a lot of people have done that, but people come with kind of really interesting insight, takes, whatever. And I'm definitely open to a little section in which we kind of just answer, a couple of those.
Maybe we do a live show and a call-in segment like we had we done on the Big 6 the other night. We bring some of the members onto the screen and we have a live Q&A conversations. Maybe we had that. Listen, it's the birth of a new era, people. So your opinions, as you can see, we're still thinking on the spot. So your opinions definitely count as much as ours, people, because it's about you, the community. That's why we're back. That's why we're here. Love for the love. But would like to still deliver what you guys, girls, and everyone want to see. So make sure you give us your opinions on that, people.
Just want to shout out my man who stopped me at Piccadilly station. He caught me and I was quite pissed off because the Piccadilly line, I was trying to find the Piccadilly line to go where I was going and it was shut down and I had to find a new route. But he stopped me, found the podcast. He was with his partner, forgotten his name, forgotten her name. Beautiful couple. Love the pods. Big up you two.
How can they love the pod? This is a new pod, bro.
They don't love this pod, but they will love this pod now. They will now love this pod now.
I'll tell you this week. They're going to tell you they loved it. Yeah. People. James, any last minute thoughts?
We're getting sued.
We're gonna wrap it up there, people. Monetization gone, legal matters in hand. It's all crazy, people. Hopefully we're back for a second episode. Hit the like button, make sure you leave a comment. Back your chat, London edition, me versus majority Chelsea fans on the Big Six channel. That's out. It should be out today. I'm not sure whether this comes out first or that comes out next, but if you subscribe to all the channels in the description, whether it's this one, the Big Six, Gooniverse News, or Coolest Disabled, content coming out thick and fast. Jordan let you know about, something coming out exciting on his channel. James, I'm sure he's always releasing stuff, even across international breaks. So make sure you subscribe over there. And yeah, the new podcast is here, people. So make sure you show some love right here as well. Before you go, hit the like button. Let's get to 1,000 likes. Share, hype, subscribe, do all of that stuff. And we'll be back after the Fulham game. Unfortunately, this weekend, it's going to be before the Liverpool game. But moving forward, we will tailor, for the competition. And if we run away with it, fingers crossed, then, we'll just stick to the Arsenal game. We don't need to worry about the rest. But that's a dream. Months down the line. Love for the love. I'm rambling on. Peace. We're out.